everyone, welcome back, and today is WIP Wednesday. And I'm doing something a little different. I mean, I'm working on WIPs, but I'm working on multiple WIPs. So I have a few I kind of want to belt out today. I have this one here. This I started on a live stream. Yeah, it was a live stream. I was testing out the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. I've done everything, including a second layer. I've added little stickles up here. I put glossy accents on her eyes. Oh, maybe if I can catch the light, you can see it. And then I also added some holographic glitter to her wings. And the little gemstone. I used my Sparkle Pop pens, I think, for the silver. I don't know. But she needs a background, so I was going to do that today. And then I have this buddy color here that I also started on the live stream with Erica from Elm Colors. And I finished this while I was at my son's soccer tournament, but I couldn't actually finish it because I had to do the background and I couldn't do that. Well, I didn't bring the stuff. I had Prismas and I wasn't about to do that. So I wanted to work on that. So the background for that and maybe some accents too. And then I have this one that I also started while I was out of town for the soccer tournament. And I need to finish her wings, but I'm actually going to wait until I do the background because the wings are going to be very translucent and pick up a lot of colors from the background. This one has been really fun. I was really bored in the hotel room. So I was like looking up reference photos. These blueberries are like 7 or 8 colors. It's more than I've ever done. Strawberries, same thing. I mean, I just pile. Even the pancakes. Yeah, I went a little overboard, but there's a lot of like accents I want to do. Like I want to put some glossy accents on the maple syrup so it looks syrupy. And yeah, so I wanted to start with I think this one. We'll see if I even get through it, like, you know, just this one alone, but I want to do her background in, I'm thinking distress ink because this paper does really well with ink. The background on this one, I haven't decided if I'll do pan pastel or distress ink, but this one, since I'm certain, we're going to do that. So I'm going to grab a couple distress inks and tools and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my little makeup brushes. These are actually really clean ones. I have a really tiny one for these little spots here. These are so hard though, they just kind of really bend in there. And then a little bit of a bigger one. And then I grabbed Wilted Violet and Salvaged Patina. So let's just start with something. I don't really have a plan. just going in there. So yeah, I was gone at a soccer tournament. Wow, words are hard today. My son's soccer tournament up in Park City. I made that way too thick there, by the way, in case you were curious. I haven't used these little ones in so long. So we left Wednesday, and he had a game that day. And that was the day we also checked into the hotel. Such a busy week. I did get some downtime. Just didn't feel like it. You know how like you have downtime, but you're like, did I? Are you sure? Because you just don't feel like you did. It was just always busy. You know, and we were staying at a hotel. I did bring some food and snacks because I do have a teenage boy. I mean, they're always hungry. But even then, like, we'd have to, like, go out. And the hotel offered, like, one of those free breakfasts. And I actually purposely booked a nicer hotel just because I wanted a nicer place to stay. And I absolutely loathe hotels. So I was like, I better book a nice one so I'm not cranky. And please, by no means, don't take that snobbish. I've saved up for this tournament. It's just, I am a homebody. Like, I I do not leave home. Like, ask my husband. I can't remember the last vacation we took. I don't leave home. I don't like leaving home. My home is cozy. It has everything I need. For example, I'm on vacation and I couldn't even finish my pages because my background stuff was gone. Well, I could have done them in pencils, I guess, but I'm not doing that. But I'm a homebody. So I booked a nicer hotel hoping that would make me more comfortable since I was definitely out of my comfort zone. Unfortunately, it did not. So I was just kind of, ugh. But it was a pretty rough tournament. I really don't want to do that tournament again next year. Found out that coaches purposely put their players in lower brackets than they should be. So they're actually a higher division team, but they put them in a lower division so that they can just basically kick the butt of the team they're playing. Ugh. By the way, do not take this as a tutorial because I am pressing way too hard and I'm leaving splotchies. Yeah, so they basically were playing in a bracket they shouldn't have been in. So they were just stomping every team they went up against, not just my sons, but every team. And I was incredibly ticked. I mean, it's basically cheating. What are you teaching those kids anyways? Hey guys, just go play against people who are below your skill level so you can feel better about yourself. I don't know what lesson we're learning here, but if I was a parent on one of those teams that my kid was playing down, I would not have been happy because that's not what I signed up for. But yeah, so they got basically stomped for most of the tournament. The final game, they were actually playing against the other team that got stomped the entire lovely tournament. And that's because this team is actually in my son's team's division. Basically meaning when the regular soccer season starts, his team will go against this team. So they were equally matched for once. And my son's team beat them 3-0. And again, that's because they were finally matched against a team of the same skill level. So it's good to know that they actually play well for their division, because it's really hard to gauge it throughout the tournament when they're playing teams that they shouldn't be playing. Because I'm like, does my son's team need more practice? Are they not very good? Like, you can't even like gauge where to improve in a situation like that because, well, they're just not playing against people they should be playing anyway. And don't get me wrong, they held strong, really strong, against some of these teams, especially some of the bigger ones that I was honestly surprised they were able to hold out. So they didn't get like any, what's it called, shutouts, where you're like just basically annihilated. They didn't have any of those, thank goodness. But they, yeah, I mean, they lost by like 5 to 6 goals per game. And it was just so expensive. Park City, everything is inflated because it's a tourism place, you know. So just for me and my son, minimum $50 to eat. It was just beyond ridiculous, but we had a good time. Not trying to be all negative Nancy. We had a good time. It was a nice mother-son bonding. Like, we went to Main Street. He's been working this summer, so he used money that he has earned from his own job and bought everyone like little Park City gifts. So I thought that was really cute. And he kept insisting, Mom, go into a store and pick something for yourself. But I was like, no, because I mean, he spent over $100, you know, and just on little things. Like, he got his younger sister he was looking at every like souvenir shop, because every souvenir shop had these stuffed animals with a cute hoodie that said Park City, but they were all like just weird stuffed animals. And he's like, I just want a bear. And so every store we went into, he was like on the hunt for one with the pink hoodie. Had to have a pink hoodie because that's my daughter's favorite color right now. So we went to several shops before he got her that. He got his oldest sister just a keychain, because because he just couldn't decide, and he knows she, you know, she goes to college and she's traveling Europe right now. So he was like, I don't know what to get her that, like, you know, she could use. And so he got her like this cool looking jewelry keychain. It's actually really pretty. And then he got his other sister, because she's really into tie-dye, so he got her a tie-dye sweatshirt that says Park City, and it's actually a really pretty shirt. And then he bought my husband, because he's really into cooking. He's into cooking, but not cleaning up after himself. He got him, so they have like this olive oil store out there, and he got him like this custom olive oil. Like, it was crazy. They just have like vats of olive oil, and you basically can sit there and taste test, and then you get bottles of them. And so I bought him one of those. But yeah, it was pretty cute. But I had meant to record before I had taken off for the week, but it just didn't happen. So actually, I think we're pretty good. I'm debating if I want to add like some stars or some accents, or just call it a day. I don't know. We'll leave it for now. I can always come back. So I guess we're on to this one. This one, I don't know. The background, I wanted to keep it simple. And then I do know, like, so I have pink paint here that's dropping here. I knew I wanted to do like a one of my paints on it, whether it's a color shift or a glitter paint, just something to make it stand out. You know, maybe I'll use my pan pastels. We'll mix up some fun colors. So let me grab those. Okay, so I store my pan pastels in these, what are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 count palettes. And I actually keep them in order of the color families. So that's why this 20 count palette is like empty. It's because I'm filling it with the greens. But I'm going to take a few colors. This one, I dropped it, and it, yeah, keeps leaking pan pastel everywhere. So groovy. I kind of want to keep the colors soft. So I want to use, what's nice is you just pop these lids off. You don't take the pan out. So I'm going to use this one here. It's a nice pastelish color. It's Halo Green Tint. So I'm going to use that one. I'm going to take the lid off this one. And like, you can leave the lids off these for a while, like you walk away or something. They're not going to dry out. Ugh. Just going to make a mess. I'm going to, real quick, dump that in the trash. Ooh. Don't inhale pan pastels. Okay. Totally did not mean to do that. I'm gonna get some thumbs down for that camera action. So yeah, the phthalo tint, and then I'm thinking like this pastelish purple, this pink over here, maybe even this blue. Oh my gosh, I'm covered in pan pastel. Or maybe even this pink. I don't know. We're just gonna mix and throw it down, have some fun. So let me grab my brush. Always have a brush nearby for pan pastels that is not your hand. Okay. And I'm just using my soft tools, and it seriously takes like no pan pastel like at all. I do have a little bit of glitter one left on this, so a little bit of glitter is going to come off, but I don't care. It's just going to add to the effect. I can see the glitter coming through because I have a shimmer set. But I love pan pastels for backgrounds. Really need to use them more. Well, that glitter really stays on your soft tool for a while, don't it? Yeah, we'll just like make a, I don't know, a quick little background this way. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one alone with the green. Grab this other one. Okay, so what was I saying? It's easy when you're working on just one WIP, right? But then when you like stop to go grab things, you forget what you were saying. So yeah, I mean, I had a good time on our trip, but I was so happy to be home. And then my youngest, you know, the one with the broken leg, who's been wearing a full leg cast pretty much all of summer. Poor thing. Just saying it makes me just like, oh. Yeah, so she's been a full leg cast. So Monday we went to the orthopedic surgeon, and he had said in the last appointment he was pretty positive she'd be coming out of that cast, but I didn't want to like get my hopes up too much. You know? So I was like, let's hope so. And so we get in there and he does some x-rays and he's like, well, it still has some healing to do. And when he said that at first, I was like, ah, crap. You guys probably can't even see the color showing through. I'm actually filming at like one of the worst times of the day. I have the afternoon sun straight up on my my window right now, and it's roasting in here, by the way. I think I'm not working with any mediums that get extra soft in the heat. This room stays cool, but I have the door closed and the AC is not cranked up as high as it should be. So I am sweating while and then I just realized you guys probably can't see these light colors. I hope you can, and it's just the light in my face is kind of obscuring that. But anyway, so yeah, we went to her appointment, and the doctor was like, oh, she still has some healing to do. And when he first said that, I was just like, well, that's it, you know. I was like, I was like, well, I guess she's staying in it, you know. That's what was going through my head. And he's like, but good news is I'm confident enough we can take the cast off. I was like, dude, you could have led with that. You know, just better approach to giving that news, in my opinion. He could have been like, so we're going to take the cast off, but I'm going to zoom you guys down a little bit. And by zoom, I mean just straight up manually put you down there so you can see better. So yeah, he's like, we're going to take the cast off, but we're going to have to put on a boot, which I was like, okay, that's not a bad thing. So they took the cast off, which was terrifying for her, and it was just the noise. It is very loud. I gotta say, the technology for removing casts has not gone very far since I was a kid. Machine is still loud. And she was just scared because every time it would cut through like the hard part of the cast, she'd freak out. Even though like every single time we're like, I swear it won't cut you. Like it can't cut you. She just kept freaking out, which is natural. But yeah, I was just like, hang on. And then her cast just did not want to crack apart. Like, so the poor nurse was just sitting there forever like, come on. And taking off a cast, man, that is the grossest thing I've ever. It is nasty. Nasty. By the way, if you're noticing like I'm getting some pan pastel on the drawing here, it's because this stuff is straight up erasable till you use a fixative. So don't worry about the lines because you can erase it. But yeah, like we kept her cast pretty clean, but still, you could see like the dirt line around her foot and up her thigh where it had like, you know, just accumulated dirt from just everyday stuff. And then she had like dead skin in there. Ugh, there's so many things they don't tell you about casts. When you're like, so gross. But you know, her little leg was all like white and shriveled. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, though. I honestly thought it'd be way worse. So that was kind of interesting. But the doctor said at her age, they just don't have enough muscle or fat to basically degenerate. So He's like, usually kids can get up and walk faster than adults because, you know, it's just they don't have that bulk that us lovely adults have. And boy, do I have that bulk. Not the muscle bulk I'd like to have. It's more on the fat variety, but and she, you know, she's got skinny little legs, so there wasn't much to lose in the first place. But yeah, it was so nice. They fit her for the boot. I'm just gonna lightly brush some of the dust here. And then we came home, and basically she has been told to walk on it. They want her to walk on it, only with the boot on though, because there is still some healing. So, but the reason they were confident in removing the cast is because it's healed enough to where walking on it with a boot would not re-break it. Like the bone is that strong enough for that. Like he wouldn't have removed it if there was any risk of it breaking while walking on a boot. And so, like, first thing I did was gave her a bath because she hasn't had a bath other than sponge baths since she broke it on Memorial Day. So I'm like, let's just dive into that bath and scrub you. And she was, like, excited to do it as well. She's like, oh. But she won't walk on it yet. You know, her leg is weak from not being used. And she constantly will say, like, how weird it feels to, like, bend her leg. And, you know, it hurts sometimes to bend it. And I was like, yeah, it's going to, you know, because your ligaments, muscles, like, everything in that leg has basically sat there not moving for several months. You know, your body's got to readjust and get used to the fact that it can move again. But we're trying, like, baby steps. So I'm trying to just get her to stand with the boot. But even that is quite the battle royale. Let's see. But yeah, I'm trying to get her to just stand up with the boot on. Because my hope is if we get her to stand, she'll at least get used to that weight. And then we can slowly work on steps. But she's moved back into her room now, which my husband's happy about because he's been sleeping in the basement guest room. So he was happy to have his own bed again. I'm just like so nervous though. I'm just nervous with her up there by herself, but she did fine. And we're hoping, because she needs to walk on it, because if she doesn't, her next appointment, ironically enough, is the day before school starts. And if she doesn't walk on it enough, then they most likely will keep the boot on because she won't be strong enough to go to a shoe. So I don't know if this background is showing up for you guys, but I like it. It's soft and nice and pastel. I'm going to spray it with a fixative before I outline the wings in white, but I am going to paint. So let me grab those supplies real quick. I'm going to get this pan pastel off here, off my desk, and then I'll be back. Okay, I grabbed a few things. So I grabbed my Nuvo. What color is this? Doesn't say, but it's my glimmer paste. Oh, Moonstone. So I'm going to put that on her wings. So I'll just get that up to the side here. This stuff is so shiny. So yeah, that's my week so far. And I say so far because, oh boy, is it not over. We have a very, very busy week this week. My son is working almost every day this week except Tuesday. And by that, I mean he's literally working weekends too. He wants to kind of make as much as he can before school starts, which is fine by me. Less money I gotta lend him during the school year for dances and stuff. But only bummer is I gotta drive him there. And I told him today, hey, I'm gonna have to charge you gas. And he looked at me like, what? I'm like, I wish I was kidding, man, but I can't. I can't drive you to and from work every single day for free. Like, and I'm not even doing it to be mean. It's just gas is so much money. So I was like, I gotta charge you for gas, but I'm only gonna charge him like $10 a week. Just a little bit of help is all I need. So, but yeah, he looked at me like I betrayed him or something. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. Mommy just can't afford to fill her gas tank for herself and you. But yeah, he's working. 2 of the Huskies are getting groomed this week. The next one goes next week. I try to get them all done within the same 2-week period so that I can like just relax, because they go every 5 weeks. So I try to go get them in the same 2-week window. I can't do all 3 the same week, although I should just get it over with. It's just so much work because you gotta drive them out there, pick them up, and it's not close to us because where we live there's not a ton out here. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those things, and you can't take them at the same time because otherwise they would just be sitting in the kennels, and that's not good for them. So they go on different days, and then we have like a load of doctor's appointments for some reason all this week, and trying to get the kids back onto like a school schedule almost, because school is gonna start here very soon, and so I'm like trying to get them to go to bed earlier each night. And you know, now that I think of it, take a lesson from me, I should have put the white down before I put down the Nouveau, because the Nouveau is gonna create a wee bit of a surface, but it's fine, whatever. I'll persevere. So yeah, been like this week they have to go to bed at 10 instead of like whatever time. And then I hope you can see that glitter because the Nouveau is insane. It's insane with glitter. And then I think for the pink, originally I was gonna do stickles, but I think I'm gonna use my Mod Podge Extreme Glitter. It was between that and the Extreme Glitter from Folk Art. Ugh, Mod Podge. I'm gonna have to shake that. It's stinky. So yeah, like normally it's just like whenever you want to go to bed type of thing. Can you hear that? But yeah, this week, and they were both like so freaking defeated about it. I was like, but no, we gotta go to bed 10 this week, and they're like, what? I can just like stay up late and go back to school and I'll be fine. Like, no, because you can't even get up now. So it just made me laugh, the argument we had to have over going to bed. But yeah, they go to bed at 10 right now, and then they have to get up by 8. And then next week, if they want to complain about this week, they should really wait for next week, because next week is when they're pretty much going to bed at 9 and getting up at 7, except my son will be getting up at 6. So I was like, I don't know why you guys are complaining now. It's going to get so much worse. So Mod Podge Extreme Glitter goes on white. So like, don't freak out if you use this and it's white. It will dry clear with all that glittery goodness. There's a Mod Podge holographic one too. It's very glittery and fun. I got too much on the back end of my brush, but I wanted this one. The holographic one is a little thicker glitter. This one's not super fine though, and you won't really see the glitter right now until I'm done. But the reason I chose 2 different ones is the Mod Podge Extreme Glitter has different colored glitter flecks, whereas the Nouveau is just straight like the traditional frosty glitter colors. But this one has like blues, greens, pinks, and you can like just keep adding. I honestly recommend like just dabbing, because if you brush it out, you brush out a lot of the glitter, but you can just keep adding more and more, And then once it dries clear, you'll see what I mean. I don't have my dryer hooked up where I would show you. But yeah, so I wanted 2 different kinds of glitter here just so it didn't look like I just used the Nouveau. I wanted to look like it was being painted. And then if you're curious what I do with these brushes when I'm using like these pastes and whatnot, so I have a whole set of just mixed media art brushes, and then I just either wash them with water and rinse them out right away. That's my honest to God best advice, is just take these right when you're done downstairs or wherever you're at, and just wash them right away. If you can't, or starts to dry, then I use my pink soap. But if I get these downstairs and use some nice water on it, they come right out. And if for some reason the glitter is stuck on there, because the Mod Podge can get a little gluey, then I just use my pink soap. So I've got a pink soap actually downstairs by my kitchen sink, and my spare one sits up here. But let me zoom out so you guys can see some of what we have done together today. Okay, like I said, worst time of the day, but I couldn't film until now, so you may not see the pan pastel as much. I don't see it on my camera lens, but I see it in person. So I've got like green, purple, pink, blue, just all nice and pastel. Her wings here have the Nouveau paste. I'm going to actually spray this whole thing with fixative once the paste and Mod Podge dry. And then I'll use the white gel pen. But yeah, I have the Mod Podge there. You can actually see it a little better here. It's still gloppy, but it will dry. And I'll probably let that dry overnight before I hit it with the fixative. And then I forget this lovely gal's name. I gotta look it up. But I just did the Distress ink background with the Wilted Violet and Salvaged Patina, which is one of my faves. See, I just kind of did that. I've already got the glittery accents. They're just not showing in this light. You would think they would show better, actually, because the sun is coming through. But and I may outline her wings in white as well. Luckily, I don't have to spray her with a fixative because, well, she's done. And she was done in marker, but I can't decide. Only reason is because the line work is so thick already here that I feel it would look kind of silly if I outlined those in white, like if the rest isn't. I would almost need to go and outline like the flowers and the leaves, and by then I'm bored already. So I might just leave this one as is. But I wish all the accents would show up, but that's the bummer. Oh, and then for those of you who are curious about the fixative, so with pan pastels, I use a workable fixative and it holds them okay. But I use the workable so that I can come back and do my white outlines here. See, the line work on this one isn't so thick, so it won't look as dorky. So I'm going to use the workable first. It's just Krylon. And then when I'm done, I do need to hit this with a final fixative because the pan pastel will continue to lift even with a workable fixative. So after I get in my white, then I'm going to use my Grumbacher. And that is a final fixative that I really like because it is made, it's artist grade, so it's not like Krylon or anything. It's actually made to hold down your pastels. So I use the Grumbacher. You can get it at Blick and sometimes Hobby Lobby and Joann's. Just depends. But yeah, that's what I'll spray it with after. So basically what I'm getting at is a lot of aerosol just for this one page. But the workable's nice. It holds Prisma too. So if you ever have like book pages where you use Prisma, you know how Prisma can transfer over. Spray it with a workable fixative. It's spelled Fixatif by Krylon. But I use that, and that will hold your Prismas, and they won't smudge at all on book pages. So you can use that workable. So I didn't get to my other one, but because it's so late in the day, I have to go be an adult and do something called laundry and make dinner. So yeah, I'm hoping I'll finish this one. As you know, I was hosting the hashtag for July, and I did not forget about it. I am just so awful about posting on Instagram. I almost need to hire someone to help me like stay up on my Instagram. Any volunteers? But yeah, I'm gonna finish this lovely gal. I still don't know what I might even do watercolor for the background. I don't know. I spent so much time on the darn pancakes, I just don't want to ruin everything, but I'll be finishing this one. I'll probably end up posting this after July, and then of course this WIP Wednesday will air already in August, but hey, you know what, better late than never. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Sorry if there was any rambling. This was kind of literally a WIP Wednesday where I was just working some WIPs, multiple WIPs. But yeah, until next time, everyone, take care. Bye now.